The basic psychological concepts and human behavior. The learning outcomes of this session are to understand the basic elements of psychology, describe the schools and concepts of psychology, identify the branches of psychology, and explain the major perspective of modern psychology. Let's discuss, first of all, what is psychology. The psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental process. So the definition for the psychology will be different from psychologist to psychologist, but in overall, the outline or the definitions for the psychology is the scientific study of the behavior and mental process. Let's discuss later what is behavior and what is mental process. Again, we may see that psychology attempts to explain, predict, modify, and ultimately improve the lives of the people and the world in which they live. So normally the psychology is trying to attempt to explain one behavior, one human being behaviors, and predict a behavior, how the person would be, how he will react to this situation. Like that, we may able to predict the behavior of the human being. And accordingly, we can modify the behavior. We can modify if we are going wrong. So we may understand what is our behavior, then how can we rectify the behavior, then we can modify if we are able to understand the psychological background. And ultimately, it will improve the lives of the people. So if you understand the psychology, that will improve the lives or fine tune our lives to which the preferable way. Right. Again, we may say the definition, by using the scientific method, psychologists are able to find the answers to the questions about the nature of the behavior, and through the process that are far more valid and legitimate than those resulting from mere intuition and speculations. So then again and again it is emphasized, psychology is the scientific method. So through that scientific method, psychologists are able to find some answers to some questions about the nature and the type of behavior. So now let me again explain. There's three key terminologies in the psychology. What is that? One is the scientific study of behavior and mental process. So there are three key terminology consist of this definition. One is scientific study, other one is behavior, and other one is mental process. So let's see what is scientific. What is actually scientific? So what we are doing, when we are doing some experiment in the science lab, when we are in the ordinary level, just we had some experience in with the working with the lab to do some experiment. No, so what we are doing, we put some inputs and we put some time. We add another input or whatever chemical or whatever input. Then we will observe for some period of time, and after that it will result. Then we may predict if we add this one, this chemical and this chemical, after observing the process, then we may come to the conclusion the outcome would be this, like this. So this is how we are doing an experiment in the science lab. But psychology is also a scientific study. It's also science. Why? We had to predict and understand the behavior and mental process of the human being. When we are seeing a person at one glance, we cannot say he's good or he's bad. She is good or she is bad. We cannot say that. Because psychology says it's a science, scientific study. We have to observe the human behavior. We have to observe their characteristic for a period of time. No? For example, now you are in the first year studies. You might have some so many classmates, your batchmates. Then you will at the fresh you will join together, interact with each other, even though you are coming from different background, without unknowing each other. But you cannot derive to a conclusion, he is bad, she is bad, he is good, or she is good, like that. You cannot, at a glance, you cannot predict. You have to observe their behavior for a period of time. Why my friend is so sad always? My friend is always aggressive? Why my friend is always hot tempered? You have to observe. Then only you may predict their behavior, as well as you can moderate or help to just modify their behavior. So this is why psychology is a scientific study. We'll move to the next slide. The other important things, you know, that psychology is the scientific study of mental process and behavior. So there are another two key terminologies. One is behavior and mental process. Let's discuss what is mental process. Anybody, you have any idea about mental process? What are the things may be included in the mental process? Please, you may take 1 minute. Anybody can share your experience, or whatever you think, you may share with me. I'm asking not the definition for the mental process, but just I want to know what will be included in the mental process. What do you feel that? Yeah, at least through the chatting, please. Yeah, thinking. Yeah, very good. Excellent.
Attitude.
Yes, what's going in our mind? Yeah, what's going in our mind? What we are thinking, again, feeling. Our ideas, our emotions. Excellent. Our mindset. Exactly. Imaginations. Yeah. Okay, that's enough. Thank you very much for sharing your ideas. Right. Now we may, again, imaginations, attitudes. Excellent. Feeling. Okay, fine. Again, okay, the same answers. Okay, thinking, attitudes. Okay, my dear students. Now we may have the understanding, experiences even. Yeah, experiences also in the mind. Right. The concept of expression of feelings and ideas. Okay, fine. Now we will conclude that. So what is mental process? It is a thinking process. No? Thinking, imagination, feeling, emotions. So you have to understand the emotions and feelings different. Emotions are the expression of the feelings. Now if you are sad, we have to express our feeling as an expression of that is called emotions. So our attitude, our perception, no, our experiences through the learning process, all are the mental process. So we have to identify when we are going to understand psychology, we have to understand every individual's, every human being's mental process as well as behavior. We know that what is behavior, everyone know that what is behavior. That's observable kind of actions. No, observable actions. Today, if I am sad today, then my face, my behavior will show that indication. If I am feeling sleepy or not well or lethargic, so my behavior will say that. So sometimes some people will be a chain smoker. So that observe, we can identify he's a chain smoker. If a person is always reserved behavior, not making relationship with other friends, others, then we may observe that observable behavior, he is very reserved. One may be very talkative, we may that talkative. No? One may be a fear of being alone or going outside. Or some people, some students are fear to, that mean fear to go outside alone. Some people are fear to go to the big or larger scale supermarket. So then we may observe the behavior. So psychology is overall, it's a mental process and behavior, but through how? It's through the scientific study. That means through the observation, observation of the human being. So then totally you might understand what is psychology. It is the psychology is about the men, so scientific study of mental process and behavior. Okay. There are some examples of questions to understand the psychology. For example, how do we see the colors? How do we see the colors? Because I like green color. Sometimes one may like blue. Otherwise, some other may like white. Some others may like red. So then everyone see the colors differently, like the colors differently. No? So then what is that? That may be the individually from the beginning. There may be sometimes some people do it do not like at all some even some particular colors. No? Yeah, right. Some like can you just 30 seconds can you just send your opinion that what color you like? Somebody said they like black color. Yeah, blue, silver, black color, Asif blue, Yasi blue, right? Hifa also blue, Tulangi, yeah, pink, white, blue, so sky blue, right? Fine. A pink color, black color, purple, right? Excellent. Green, red, yeah, right. This is a simple example. Now, this is a simple example. Everyone have the different like in the colors. Why? Because what does we understand through this? Everyone is different. Everyone is different. So we have to understand that one. So normally what is happening in the family, even in the families, if a husband and wife together went shopping, so husband may like one color, whereas wife may like another color. So in the selection of dresses, husband might that be in stress to select this particular color that which liked by him, but whereas wife doesn't like that. So there will be confrontation among them, among two husband and wife. No, so that will sometime lasting to a permanent the separation sometime. So some they may irritation in each other. They may get uh, tempered tempered each other, so that sometime it may be going the deeper conflict. So then that is the thing really. But we have to understand every individual is different. Now this is a simple example. I like blue color, green color. Some you everyone send us share your opinions. Then everyone have different opinion. No, so every individual is different. We have to understand that one at the very beginning. Every individual is very unique, no? Very unique, right? Likewise, what is the intelligence? So normally intelligence we may say the IQ, intelligent quotient, no, IQ. So normally what is intelligent? That is the proportion of the physical age to the mental age. So that is also the people to people different, students to students different. We may observe that one. So now you all first 160 students are in the first year. So in the examination time, all 160 will not score most probably A plus. But I wish you everyone should get that A plus. But normally, what is happening? This is the normal behavior pattern. No, no, not all the students will score 100 A plus. No, maybe out of 160, maybe 20 or 30 will be A plus. Another some A, others some portions will be B average. Even some students, there are some portion will be getting lower grades, maybe D or D plus or E sometime. So we have some experience. This is what happening. In the school environment, you see that when a school environment, so then in out of 40 students, all 40 students not get through in a higher level grades, no? So some will be very weaker students, some will be higher IQ students. So teachers will say that. So some students, they may have some that mean they may have magnifications, that they may say some students are higher IQ students, some are low IQ, some are average. The teachers will know that, teachers estimate that. So then they may have different strategies to tackle, to manage with the low IQ students, with the high IQ students. So different activity they will give. So that is the use intelligence. We have to understand. Why I am telling is, we have to understand intelligence is also people to people different. Individual to individual, it's different. Now some others. So normally in the examination, grade 5 examination, scholarship examination, some others specially rather than fathers, they always expect their children to get through or to score 100 marks. No? So they may say, if a student, if a daughter or son of a mother or parent got 99 marks even, they might ask, the students will say, the son or child, the daughter will come and very happily share the experience. Mama, I got 199 marks. Very quickly the mother will ask, no, even rather than happy, instead of being happy, he might ask, where is the 1 marks? Why you missed it? So this is the mentality our people have. No? So now then they compare. You see, the other neighboring son or neighboring child got 100 marks. Why you did not get 100? Why you missed 1? So then they started to compare with others. But intelligence is different. There are some students who score rather below 40 marks as well. No? For a grade 5 student, sometimes there are maybe some students even do not read the alphabetic. No? Alphabet. So the alphabet letters, they might, sometimes there are some people not very, maybe not fluent readers. No? So then this is what happening. So from our individual perspective, we do not like to compare our intelligence with others. If we started to compare, what will happen? We will be underestimated ourselves. We will be underesteemed by ourselves. So normally that will lead to a frustration, a mild frustration that will sometimes may even to lead a frustration. So we have to understand every individual have the different capacity of IQ. No? So then we have to understand. Right. Likewise, there are some more questions. Can abnormal behavior be treated? So these are the questions. There are some abnormal behavior among our people. So what is abnormal? Normally, this is opposite to normal behavior. So we have to read that abnormal. For example, we have what is the normal behavior? Let me share a very good example. So normally the fear of cockroach, the ladies, or mainly ladies, they are very fear of cockroach. Even they see a cockroach, they may jump and run here and there like that. They may escaping from the cockroach because ladies normally fear of. At the same time, if a gentleman like you, if you fear a cockroach, then that is the abnormal. You see, the same situation, there's no statistical or scientific definition for the abnormal behavior. Socially, very practically, we may understand, if a lady fear to the cockroach, that is a normal behavior. But if a gentleman is fear of cockroach, that is abnormal, because we know that societally, we know that males are very cute and smart. They are not afraid to even to small insect like that. So if there are some behavior among us, that is the abnormal behavior, that should be treated. That's the question. Can the abnormal behavior treated? Yes, of course, definitely it should be treated. So we have to, through the understanding of the psychology, we may understand what is abnormal, what is normal. So we will come to know. There's a section also in the abnormal behavior we might study later. Likewise, how long can we go without sleep? So what will happen if we have enough sleep, what will happen? So how many hours we have to have sleep, generally? So then that is also different to different. But we, some people, if they are stressed, they lost their sleep, so it will create some depression and other problems. So that also will be treated. Likewise, can aging be delayed? Another questions to understand psychology. Can aging be delayed? No, there's a through the developmental psychology, through the developmental stages, human being in every step, the aging is inevitable. From the infancy, then childhood, later childhood, adolescence or the youthhood, later adolescencehood, and elderhood, like that, every human being are passing through the stages. So in each and every stages, there are problems, there are expectations are different. The strategies to solve the problem also should be different. So we have to understand. So in all the elderly, that mean 55 years elder, 55 years old lady or 50 years old man cannot have the feeling of age 13 teenage girl or teenage boy. So if it is so, that is really abnormal. So every age there are certain type of problem, certain type of expectation or behavior. Everything is different to from each stages to each stage. So then we have to accept that one. We have to accept. Sometime, for example, if 10 years daughter or son, child, 10 years, then when it is moved to 13, then systematically or gradually the physical and the mental process will be changing. No, there's a changes in the physical as well as emotional and psychological context. So then at the time we are ready to accept that one. No, we have to accept that one. If we have the physical changes or the mental changes, we have to accept, because we have to understand every stage human beings are passing that one. So then we have to understand that in that topic. Likewise, how does stress affect us? How does stress affect us? Right. We will study that also, because every human being with stress, no human being available without stress. So if it is so, then that is really will be abnormal. But stress is inevitable. Everyone life, even a grade 1 student, a Montessori student, a child, starting from the stress, going to the tuition classes and some other works like that. So then we have to, then every individual affect individual in a different extent. We have to manage with the stress. So that is also one of the simple example to understand what is psychology. Other one is, what is the best way to study? So there is no unique way of study, best way to study. Every individual have different way of study. You know? Some students will study their whatever material to memorize that one. They may study those things very loudly, reading the handouts loudly. Among us in the hostels also, there are different problem arise to the last years. I have a good experience since I worked with students as a counselor. Some students, some in the hostel there are two, so more three students will be there. One student will read the handout very loudly, whereas other students reading the handouts in the silent, with silent, then memorize or learn by heart without making noise. But whereas other student making noise, so through the noise only she will be able to memorize those things. So there's a contradiction between the two hostelers, two roommates. How to adjust that? So the best way to study for that person is reading the handouts very loudly, whereas other way of study, best way to study for the other student is so reading without making noise. So what can we do then? It is the problem everywhere, in the hostel mainly, even at home. There are more than 2 children at home. Every children in the family also different. So what we have to understand, that first. So actually there's a couple of students came to me, not the couple, only one came to me and said that, madam, I cannot study. I cannot study with well without with my roommate. So I want to please make arrangement to shift my room to another. So then I asked, what is that? What is the reasons? She said that she reads her not very loudly. So then it is disturbing me. So then after that, I also that called her and asked what is how you are studying like that. She said, if I read my hand out loudly only, madam, I can understand. She said that. So if both their justification to both is acceptable. Both are justifying their argument. But in every individual, we have to understand. We have to learn how to adjust to others. We cannot suppress. We cannot expect other students should not read loudly. Um, so we have to adjust. If the loud is we're reading one student loudly, then we have to escape that place and we have to find like that. We would like to adjust. At the same time, other student also should understand. So yeah, my one, my friend, she doesn't like that I am reading loudly, so I should change my behavior. If everyone change like this, understanding or considering other counterpart, definitely we may lead a happy life. So this is a simple example. In a family, even you are in some years, you will be coming to the family life as a prospective husband or prospective wife, as a prospective father or a prospective mother. You also one day will be very quickly, very shortly, you will face that situations. So even if a family husband wife, they want to understand each other only, their life will be happily going on. So now this is a simple example. So understanding individual difference is a very good, important if you want to understand what is psychology. Okay, now we'll move to the next slide. The branches of psychology. So now we know that what is psychology. Psychology is the scientific study of mental process and behavior. So we know that what is scientific study, what is mental process, what is behavior, and we just discuss what are the some questions to understand what is psychology. Now we'll discuss the different aspects or different branches of psychology, different perspective of psychology. Okay, the first one is biopsychology. What is biopsychology? It is the branches of psychology that specializes the biological basis of the behavior. So then we may focus psychology as a separate, that means one branch as the biopsychology. That always says that specializes in the biological basis of behavior. So biologically, we might have different biological bases. For example, even our blood group, biologically, we have different blood group. Nothing with behavior is connected with the group, but other research findings are saying that. But we have biologically we are different. We know that biologically we different. How some we have blood group A plus, A group, so not B, A negative, A positive, like that. O positive, O negative, B, like that. We have different type of blood group. So that is simple biological base different. Mainly other pages biologically, even the gender, our male and female, biologically we have different. For female, different problem than the biological behavior and biological issues and biological outcome uh, than the counterpart males. No, likewise males have different. So so we cannot expect they both are same. Even though some human rights organization, women rights organizations, they just demanding we are equal, we want equal rights, we are equal to men. But they may ask the equal rights, but they want to understand they are different from each other. That means counterpart, male and female are different. They are biologically they have a different problem and different issues. No? So we have to understand that one. For example, if you are going to work in an organization, there where you may find some male and female counterparts, then they have different psychological, biological issues. So you have to understand as a manager when you want to balance, manage with the employees. So likewise, some people even in the family, friends, or the husband and wife, then they may have some sweating. Some people they may have the habit of highly sweating, whereas some not sweating. So some people through that sweating, they do not like to work except some other unwanted problem. Then they want to maintain their body in a very uh, soft way, but they do not like to work hard sometimes. Then we cannot expect everyone should extend their contributions. So biologically, their behavior, their problem or issues will be different. So that is actually biopsychology. So we have to understand that perspective. The second one, cognitive psychology. Right. What is cognitive psychology? Meaning the term cognition mean the thinking process, high mental process. So actually, what is cognitive psychology? Which focuses on the study of higher mental process, including thinking, language, memory, problem solving, knowing, reasoning, judging, and decision making. So all these things record the higher mental process. That is in term is called that is cognitive psychology. So we in our brain, in our mind, we have the cognitions. What is the higher cognition mean? Higher mental process. Now you are the first year students, you know how to develop your language, how to that mean increase your memory power, how to solve your problem, how to know those subjects and analyzing, how to judging the problem, how to judge your problem and give the solution, decision making. This should be included in the higher cognitive psychology. So the higher cognitive psychology also, the person to person will be different. Some people, some have for example, if you take that language, some students, they are very competent in the language, for example, in English. So whereas some cannot have that, but they may get the practice to how to enhance the English fluency. But actually, the last 4 or 5 years back, one student from our faculty, the male student, he just very frustrated in the first year, second semester. Then moved to the up to the second year, first semester, he was with the frustration. He want to leave the course and go home. He was getting ready to go home. Then fortunately, he came to me or met me, and I just inquired what is happening, what's the thing. He frankly told me he is not able to catch up the English, very difficult to handle the handouts, then very fear of facing the exam in English medium. So I want to go, madam. I can't because, and also he started comparing where my other students are very fluent, some others are so competent in English, good command of English, like that he shared. So that is also one thing. We cannot compare that one. So that is a different person to person is different. But we evaluate ourselves. Where are we? Where I am? Where am I? Then we may take some measures, steps or measures to enhance my language. So now that can be, but we have to understand this is my level, this is another level. So that is obvious. People have different cognitive skills, different. No, so then we have to understand. Then after that, step by step, we can move. We can move. So what I wanted to help him. Just I wanted him to get the handout. Don't find each and meaning for each and every sentence, every word. Don't find it. So you just underline. So I just taught him a mind mapping. For example, if you are understanding psychology or management subject, so then you just underline very important key terms. What is management? The functions of management, key roles of management, skills of management, levels of management, like that. Very key point. You just in the mind map you do that. Then memorize, learn by heart the key terminology. Don't try to learn each and every sentences. I just really uh, advise him. then step by step you will be able to know. Then I also created a friend circle to that person, those who are good at English. So friend circle evening time, you just in the evening we had our faculty has a very good conducive environment to chat each other. So then in the bench you just uh, meet every evening half an hour. Then you can talk, speak whatever current affairs in the world as well as Sri Lanka. Then you just in the way you just develop. So I think now he has passed out the students. He is very good at English now. Now this is what the cognitive psychology, high mental process, even the memory power. Sometimes for some student, one time even one reading they can memorize, but some student they want to take multiple reading, multiple that mean steps to memorize those things. Then we have to understand our position, how I am. So if I am at one reading I can memorize, then that's better. You can go that way, move to the other. But if you want to get more multiple attempts to memorize, you have to do that. You have to do that. That's of course that's good. Really, is even so. But I have two children. One is daughter and one is a son. So daughter she has a good memory power, I think. So at one reading very quickly she can memorize and able to uh, express what she learned, memorized. But my son very often he forget it. So then he just compare my sister, my mom sister, she very quickly memorized, but I can't. He said that. He complained. But what I was trying to do with my son is, you just get multiple. If getting a memory is less, don't worry, my dear son. You get multiple time of reading, multiple time of attempt to memorize, learn by heart. So that is a strategy for you to study. So then he understood that part. So everyone we have to understand. If you compare and then if you are unable to understand ourselves, what will happen? We will be ourselves estimated, underestimated. No? So then that's what happening. So this is how everything, the problem solving. So cognitive psychology is a very vast topic, but just I can give you a brief thing about this since it's a small portion in the psychology, a branch of psychology, is a higher mental process. So this is also different person to person, different. Right. Other one is development psychology. It is the branch of psychology that studies how people grow and change throughout the course of their life. So as I have already discussed, every human being, they are growing and changing throughout their life, throughout their course of their lives. So even from the infancy hood to childhood, or adolescencehood and elderhood. So there are different stages of human being. Every stages they are passing and they are changing mentally, physically. There are changes. We have to understand that one. So that is a very good. Sometimes I see that, for example, my son now he's age 12 plus 13. Now his voice changing. Some physical changes occur, but he was very fear. He always complained me, mom, my sound, my voice always changed, like very tough. So how can't I get my voice again as a child voice? So he was disturbed last month. So every child like this. So we had to accept. So I took much effort to make him understand that is the nature that will happen to everyone. So very difficult. I took much effort to make him understand. So everyone is like that. We have to understand from this hood to that stage. Physically, mentally, we will be changing. So we are getting ready to accept that one. If it is not, what will happen? That will go to the mental problems, illness. No? So now that is the development psychology. Right. Now we will discuss the development psychology also as a one topic, associated with the social psychology. Right. Other one is personality psychology. It attempts to explain both consistency and change in a person's behavior over time, as well as the individual traits that differentiate the behavior of one person from another when confronting the same situation. So that is personality psychology. So personality, every individual personality is different from each other. Every individual have a unique and special characteristic that differentiate another person. For example, if one person will be very helpful, no? Very helpful, whereas some will be very kind, whereas some other will be very cruel, some will be very aggressive, some will be very dependent, whereas some will be independent. So there are some special characteristics to everyone. We have to understand personality psychology is most important to understand to lead a happy life in a family, even in the organization as well. No, in a family, for example, in the nature, if you have 5 fingers are not the same. In the family also, even 5 children or 4 children or 5 family members will not be the same. Even in a family is a different characteristic among a family members. Then you think how it will be in a first year lecture among 160 students. Every individual is very unique. And when you go into join into organization to work, you may come across so many diversity of employees who are coming from different diversity, workforce diversity, have different cultural background, different environment, geographic locations. So every individual is different. So we have to understand that one. Then only collectively we may work with them. So when you are going to work after your graduations, you are going to work with an organization, you are going to work as a team. So when you going to work as a team, you have to understand every individual's background. We have to adjust and work with that. Getting those work done, no, to achieve one overall organizational goal, it's rather difficult. So then personality psychology is very much important to understand, since every individual, every human being are unique from each other. Right. Other one is health psychology. It explores the relationship between psychological factors and physical sicknesses and disease. So there's another psychology, health psychology. What is health psychology? It explores the relationship between psychological factors and physical sickness or the disease. For example, if you have the presentation today, if you are going to make a presentation in front of the audience, so you might feel sometimes your abdominal disorder, sometimes stomach ache or headache. So actually that's a psychological some factors and your physical sickness or disease. So actually you do not know some physical sickness, but thinking of your presentation, thinking of your interview, you might get some physical diseases, sicknesses. So then there is we have to understand that also physical psychology. Other one is clinical psychology. It deals with the study, diagnosis, and treatment of abnormal behavior. So there's another part is clinical psychology. If an individual have some abnormal behavior, so that behavior should be diagnosed and get treatment in order to relieve from that behavior. So for example, why we want to understand the clinical psychology, we must have to understand if any of our friends among us have some abnormal behavior, that should be treated. That should be treated, that should be sent to the proper special doctor, special persons or psychiatric doctors. They may observe clinically. That is clinical psychology. So there are so many examples, experience with our students in our faculties, even other faculties also. Some students have some different kind of abnormal behavior. So sometimes some students are committed to do the suicide as well. So for their personal reasons, some other really unjustifiable reasons, but that was the deeper one for them, for that led them for the frustration. So at that time, we have to understand our colleague. So he is or she is in the trouble. So we have to guide that person to go for the clinical issues. So the treat, that means systematically, session by session, that patient or that person or that patient should be treated. So we have to understand whether that is a very much important. Some students come to us, then they may share their experience and share their problem. Through the counseling, so most of the problem can be solved out, can be solved. But sometimes some problem will cannot be solved, but this will be a milder, deeper depression like that. So those things should be sent to the special psychiatrist doctor and get clinical treatment. After that only they may be recovered. So now for this also we want to understand this clinical psychology. Other one is industrial psychology. What is industrial psychology? Organizational, in other words, we can say organizational psychology. It is relating the workplace and usually considers productivity, job satisfaction, and decision making, etc. So after your graduations, you are also going to work within organizations where you may think of your productivity, the individual job satisfaction, and the decision making process. So in which you have to understand the organizational psychology. For example, simply let me explain the job satisfaction. So in the job satisfaction, some employees, even 100 students in a working environment, some employees will say, I am not satisfied with my job. Whereas some say, no, I am fully satisfied with my job. So people, different uh, opinion might prevail among the employees. What? Because sometimes in the job satisfaction, some might satisfied with their salary, some not be satisfied with the salary. Some might be satisfied with their peers, co-workers, whereas some not be. No? Some may be satisfied with their working condition, working environment, whereas some are not satisfied. So individual to individual, it's different. So as a manager or as a CEO of a company or an organization, he or she understands every individual's job satisfaction, their productivity, their ability, their performance, their individual capability, decision making, everything. As a manager, we have to understand. Then only we can lead the organization in a successful way. So that is all about the organizational or industrial psychology. Right. Other one is the social psychology. Social psychology, it is the study of how people's thoughts, feeling, and actions are affected by others. So here also we will study the social psychology as a separate chapter. It is said about the study of how the people's their thoughts, feelings, and behavior are affected by others. For example, now you are in the third year, 160 student in a class. Every individual, you have every individual personality different, your individuality is different, your characteristic different, but you are, when you are working in as a group, as a first year BBA group, there you might be, your individual thinking, feeling, actions might be affected by others. How? For example, if a Tamil speaking student, when you are joining with the Sinhala speaking students, your behavior or feeling, your thoughts affected by others in the sense, you are also learning the Sinhalese. Likewise, Sinhala language. Likewise, Sinhalese, they may also work with the Tamil speaking students. They may like to learn their language, Tamil language. Likewise, the simple example. Right. Likewise, when you are work with the second year or third year students, the third year some union members will come and say, today we are going to boycott. So even you do not know what is happening, you very readily you may join with them, and you also putting your protest, you are just supporting them for that. So that is social psychology. How your action, every individual feeling, other affected by others. So that is very important to understand here, since we are also going to interact with the societies or groups or people or other individuals. Right. Other one is consumer psychology. Consumer psychology focuses to analyze people's buying behavior, their buying habit, and effects of advertising on their behavior. So, as a marketer, marketing managers, or the marketing people, they might, more importantly, they want to understand the consumer psychology. What is their buying habit? How they are addicted to design changes? Because you know that every customers are the king, no? For the marketers, customers are the king. So customers, their habits, needs, wants, demands, everything will be different to time. So the marketers or the marketing people should understand their buying behavior, their preferences, their interests, their taste, their needs, their wants, their demands every time. Accordingly, the marketer should produce their product and services in order to survive in the marketing industry. So the consumer psychology also is a branch of psychology. Right. These are the branches of psychology. Let me once again summarize it from the beginning. The first one is biopsychology. The second one is cognitive psychology. Third one is development psychology. Next one, personality psychology, health psychology, clinical psychology, industrial or organizational psychology, social psychology, and consumer psychology. Right. Now, another topic, now based on these things, we may put all together in a different way. That is the major perspective of modern psychology. So then, considering all those branches of psychology, these are some some aspects or perspective of the modern psychology. So the divisions are like this: behavioral perspective, cognitive perspective, biological perspective, evolutionary perspective, developmental perspective, psychodynamic perspective, and social cultural perspective. So let me explain one by one. Now you know that you may have an understanding what is psychology and what are the branches of psychology. Then this will be easily understood by you. Yeah, the behavioral perspective, in the sense, we may put in a different way the type of psychology, behavioral perspective. Behavioral perspective means focus on the observable behavior. The psychology only based on the observable. If a person's being a chain smoker, or a reserved type of behavior, or a fear of some certain object, fear of cockroach, or fear of darkness, or fear some objects, the only based on the observable behavior, we may treat them or we may modify their behavior. Likewise, some perspective or cognitive perspective, where only focuses the cognitive process or high mental process, as we discussed earlier, such as memory, thought, reasoning, analytic, decision making, etc. Other one is biological perspective. We already discussed the basis of behavior. So here the biological perspective focuses the biological events and the processes that underlie every behavior. No, biological events, some are sweating, some are not sweating, like that. Other one is evolutionary, that is focusing the possible roles of evolved psychological mechanism. For example, inherited tendencies shaped by evolution. Inherited tendency. If a father is a drunkard, the behavior will be inherited to the son. So then that is also the evolutionary focuses. Then other one is developmental focuses, that mean it focus the changes in the behavior and cognitive process over the lifespan. So that is a developmental focus. And psychodynamic focus perspective. It focuses the role of hidden, often unconscious internal processes, example, unconscious motive. So we will study this psychodynamic as a psychoanalytic theory. This is one of the most important perspective in the psychology. The psychodynamic, in the sense, it will narrate about the unconscious motive. Unconscious, that means conscious mean, that word conscious. Conscious mean we know that we can recall. We may remind, for example, what we eat today breakfast. Everyone can say, if it is a string hoppers and gravy, then we may say. If it is a noodle, we may say. So then we can, what is your name of your name? What's your father's name? What's your mother's name? You just very quickly, you may say that. But the conscious, you are, when you are driving your bicycle, you are conscious to what is the adhering the rules and regulations of the traffic. So then the conscious. Unconscious means the opposite to conscious. We do not imagine, recall what is unconscious. For example, we do not know what happened to us when we are in the age 1, a 6-month baby, or even in the infancy in the womb of the mother. No, we do not know. So that kind of behavior also will be inherited and taking some changes in the behavior. For example, very good example to explain the psychodynamic perspective. If a baby girl or baby boy, if a baby less than 2 years, the medical background says the breastfeeding is more important to a baby up to 2 years. So that is the medical background says that, no? So that is a very important thing, essential thing. But sometimes, because the psychologist or medical people know that the child enjoys through the mouth up to the 2 years. So the child or the child enjoyment, happiness, internal happiness, everything depend on the mouth, oral. So the breastfeeding and sometimes the child sucking the fingers in the mouth. So what the mothers are doing, they just pull the mouth out and they just suppress that enjoyment of the baby. So if the breastfeeding is denied by the mother for some medical purpose or some other purposes, if the child suppressed from sucking the finger from the mouth, so that will that means deeply rooted in the unconscious mind, that after adolescencehood, after 20 years or after 16 years old, then the child becomes some anti, that means anti behavior or aggressive behavior child. Not the child now, it's a man, no? Man or woman. So there sometime may be a chain smoker, or sometime they may be frustrated in some other activities. So that's why the medical or the psychological background says up to 2 years the breastfeeding, we have to allow the child to enjoy through the mouth, whether it is breastfeeding or sucking the fingers inside the mouth. So we have to allow the children. Why? So then that happened now in the 1 year or 2 years. So that is deeply rooted in the hidden, the deep mind. So that will burst out as the aggressive or the anti behavior when it growing, when the child grows, maybe in the adolescencehood or the later adolescencehood. So this is the impact of psychology, psychodynamic. We will deeply study this psychoanalytic theory in the personality theory. Other one is social and cultural perspective. So like socially is focused on the social and cultural behavior that can influence the behavior. As I told earlier, every individual, we have different family background, different personality characteristic, different expectation, different attitude. But when we are working with the group, when we are working with the subcultural group, when we are working with the organization, or when we are working with the team, everyone we can share, we may influence our behavior by others. So then we may change that part. Now, for example, a very simple example. Now we are after our school background, you are going to join in the first year. No, so then when your seniors say that you have to the first year, you have to trust like this, you have to come behave like this. Now you may adapt to that their voice because you are influenced by their behavior. No, so when you are going to an organization after your graduations, you are going to work in a company or organization where they ask you to wear the dress code. For example, you had to wear blue color shirt and that means black color trouser, like white blue color sari for all ladies. So then you had to, no way, you had to adapt to that, because there you are influenced by others. Then you have to change your behavior. You have to adjust your behavior in accordance with their rules, norms, and culture of the organization. So then that is the social and cultural perspective. Okay, now with this, today we will conclude the session.